Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. It's good to see everybody here. If I could ask anybody who's able to please stand, we'll welcome the Madison Fire Department Local 311 Honor Guard and Pipes.
Inward face. Forward march. Very close. Close. Cut. Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Face. Forward march. Upward face. Forward march.
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you again to our Honor Guard and Pipes. We're honored to have them here with us. Well, again, what an awesome evening. So great to see everybody here. For those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting just yet, my name's Chris Carbon, the fire chief, and it's my honor to kick things off this evening. So as I said, thank you for taking the time to be with everybody here tonight. And this simple act of coming together represents one of the most special aspects of the fire service and what I believe to be one of the most special aspects of this fire department. It's about being here, it's about being together, and it's about being here for each other. For each of the members that we're excited to recognize this evening, it's most important to understand that none of these acts, none of these happenings do occur in a vacuum. And none of them can happen by the actions of anybody by themselves. Every promotion, every achievement, every bit of well-deserved recognition, it only happens after a vast amount of time, dedication, effort from both the individual that's going through this, but also, as you each know, from all the friends and the family members that are by their side all the way. The flexibility and the sacrifices made along the way, they're impressive. And when these moments that we get to take part in tonight, when these moments of recognition come together, this truly is a celebration for everybody in this room tonight. It's a celebration for everyone that was involved throughout our loved ones and those that we care for here tonight. And again, that's why it's so special to have the room full of each of you, in addition to all those being recognized. So what does it mean to be promoted? What does it mean to realize a new achievement or a recognition here? Well, for me, it means a lot. We all know the badges, the bars, the bugles, whatever it may be that we're recognizing this evening. Those are noteworthy. Those are certainly well-deserved. But the real recognition of promotion and achievement, it's that of a new privilege that you each have to serve in a new way for this organization, this department, and this city. The way I see it, it's the newfound responsibility, but most of all, it's that opportunity, and it's about the genuine humility of the new position to show up and to be able to give of yourself in a new and different way. It's about how you show up for yourself in this new role. It's about how you have self-reflection in this new position, in this new opportunity, and how are you going to make yourself proud to serve in this capacity? It's about how you show up for each other. How will you help each other find success? How will you find those that you work with every day, help them along the way to achieve the goals that they're after, find the successes that they want to be, and for you to be that colleague that we all like to have by our sides. Most importantly, it's about how you show up for this community. It's about how we demonstrate that very same humility and that very same kindness in all that we do. So again, when I reflect back and when I look around this room at all those that are here tonight to enjoy this celebration, all those that are here with you, that's what I see. That's what I'm looking at. That's why I got a smile on my face. This is great. It's a collection of the MFD who demonstrate the best of those qualities day in and day out, and certainly a collection of folks that I am incredibly proud to be amongst. So again, welcome to our celebration and our recognition this evening. So happy to have you here, and thank you all for being here. At this point, it is my honor to welcome the mayor's office to come up and speak a few words.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Like Chief said, I'm from the Madison Mayor's Office. My name's Ruben. I'm your Deputy Mayor for Public Safety. So I get the opportunity to work with a lot of the fine folks in fire that are here tonight. So I'm going to start off by saying congratulations. I mean, you were all incredibly dedicated to hard work. I think back the last time I gave one of these speeches, because the mayor can't be here tonight, it was graduation. And that is an event that's filled with pride and accomplishment. But as you all know, that's just the beginning of the process. The people in this room kept going. They took on new challenges, rose to new heights, and stepped to new opportunities. And the roles that we're talking about tonight, there's a diversity of roles. Many of them that I come to appreciate because I get to work alongside them. When you answer a call, residents remember your faces, and I know that because they tell us when we see them in public, when they email us. But they don't know all that goes into helping them that day. We have division chiefs tonight, apparatus engineers, community paramedics, fire code enforcement officers. It's a whole team of people, like the chief was saying, that makes that moment for a resident actually come together. They don't see the story of your career, the toll on your family, the days you've already had, or your tomorrows. They just know that they need you, and they know that you as a member of Madison Fire will be the best help that they can get. We all know that public service is hard work, often in ways that you can never expect or plan for. And yet you all push to become better, reach deeper, and push farther. So for that, I thank you. The mayor of Madison thanks you, and the community thanks you. So again, congratulations, and I can't wait to see what everyone does next. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruben. It's my pleasure at this point to welcome the Madison Police and Fire Commission and President Mary Schaaf.
Good evening. As the chief said, my name is Mary Schaaf, and I'm the current president for the Police and Fire Commission. And I speak to you tonight on behalf of the Board of Police and Fire Commissioners, Kevin Gundlach, Martha Vukalik-Austin, and Azura Fudge-Hart, who is with us right here. I told her I wouldn't be able to see her over the podium. The first thing we would like to do is just say congratulations to you. You've had incredible achievements, and it's really nice to be able to come out as a community and celebrate those achievements. So thank you for that, and then thank you for your continued service to the city of Madison. So I had planned these really kind of formal leadership kind of comments, and I was all set to go with it, and then I went to yoga class. And I was in yoga, and the instructor read a little segment before class. And I realized, oh my, I've picked the wrong theme for my comments for tonight. So I went home and I changed it. And you'll kind of see where I'm going here in a minute, but I had to give credit for the person who inspired me and inspired the change in the comments tonight. So I'll start out. So the comment was read, it was from The Pivot Year by Brianna Wiest, day 77. And I'll read that to you, and then I'll share why I think it was important that we talk about that tonight. There's something about learning to live with a positive curiosity, to course correct the constant wondering of what may be going wrong, what is hinging on collapse, what grave error or misstep you have not accounted for. Turn your capacity to downboard. Think into something that supports your growth. Consider instead how you might be pleasantly surprised, how it may be easier than you think. There might be some vital lesson or realization attempting to emerge through your current experience. Consider instead how infrequently the worst-case scenario has come to pass. And then consider how ruminating on it isn't protecting you from it, but allowing your mind to piece and filter that particular reality more into your form. As first responders, and those who plan for the safety and well-being of responders, and as well as the public, you always have to consider and plan for the worst. The worst-case scenario, what do we need to do to keep our people safe? What do we need to do to keep our community safe? It's your due diligence, it's part of your job. But I'm going to invite you tonight to not get lost in that. I would pose to you that always looking for what's wrong or broken is not a place to stay with your focus, even though our culture in our society tends toward that theme. We are simply trained to always look for the worst situations in what's going on, but also in the people. So this is a great lesson for all personal growth practice within ourselves, but also as supervisors and leaders. Looking for and finding the best in your team and each individual you work with, that's where it should be at. They will feel the difference in your approach. See all the positives they bring to the job, everything they bring to the firehouse. If you are preoccupied with focusing on problems and poor performance, you will find that you inadvertently nurture it. You get to build the relationship with your team, and each and every member of that team. Who would you rather work for? The supervisor that sees your incredible value to the team, to the agency, to the fire service, and then invites you to grow and learn even more? Or the alternative, and I'm not pointing at you. So just always consider your perspective. You always have a choice. So much congratulations to you on your achievement. Thank you.
Thank you, President Schaaf. At this point, it is my pleasure to welcome Vice President of Firefighters Local 311, Kevin Sherry.
Thanks, Chief. On behalf of President Mitchell, Secretary Treasurer Friedrichs, the 311 Exec Board, and myself, I'd like to congratulate you on your accomplishments. I'd also like to thank the families for all their support, making it possible for our members to succeed. I've been through a couple of these things, and I know the stress that it puts on the family, so it doesn't go unnoticed, and it's greatly appreciated by all of us. I'll be brief here. I just returned from the IFF convention in Texas this morning, so I'm still a little shaky. I think I should have went and did some yoga this afternoon, maybe. But while I was there, I realized something that I'd like to share because I think it's fitting for what we're doing here tonight. I've been very fortunate in my career. I'm getting ready to retire, but I've been very fortunate in my career here in Madison to get to work with and for some of the best people that I could ever imagine meeting. I've also been very fortunate in my role as vice president to get to travel the country and become friends with some truly amazing leaders. And not just union leaders, leaders of men and women who've been successful in every role they've taken on. They worked at the busiest companies, they were well-respected officers, and tremendous leaders of their organizations. And while I was there, I was feeling very grateful for these relationships that I've had. I realized the people that I was surrounded by and the people that I worked with and respected so much here in Madison all had one thing in common, one thing they all shared. They were never the person sitting at the table always complaining. This is horrible, why do we do this, we should be doing that, why do we have this, we should have that. I don't know if you know, if you're not in the fire service, some of us get very good at complaining. Everybody in the back row and the firefighters, you know who they are. But the leaders I speak of were never those people. They looked at the things that were good and made them better. They looked at what could be and accomplished it, then took on the next thing they were told could never be done. They were never the complainer. There are very few things in our lives that you can always control, but the few things that you can are the most important. You can control how you carry yourself, your attitude, how you treat other people, and whether or not you're the complainer. In these new roles, be the person that you wanted to work with, be the leader that you wanted to work for. Again, congratulations, and the best of luck with your new roles. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Cherry. Take a little interlude and pause for a moment. I hope we can all step back and reflect over the last 10 minutes up here and various people coming to speak. We've had the mayor's office represent the Police and Fire Commission, the organization, Firefighters Local 311, everybody that's involved in this department, the running, the day-to-day operations. We're swimming in the same direction, and it is a collective group that wants the best for the membership of this organization, that wants the best for the organization, and that wants the best for this community. That's not always the case, and I think it's really impressive when we see all this come together and you see it reflect in the way that it does and understand that what we all get to be a part of is something real special. So I just want to add that in. It certainly hits me as I watch it, and I hope it hits all of you as well. But it doesn't matter which perspective we're coming from. This is a group of folks who care about each other and care about the success of the people sitting in this room, so it's pretty special. At this point, it's time to hand out some goodies. So if I could please ask Deputy Chief Liza Tatar to come on up, and we are going to start the process of handing out some awards, and we're going to lead off with our Fire and EMS Pathway intern.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm really proud to recognize a significant milestone, actually, with the start of this conversation for both our department and our community, but more importantly, somebody who's who's worked very hard to achieve that milestone today. So a few years ago, the Madison Fire Department partnered with the Wisconsin Partnership Program to create a different pathway into the fire service. The goal was to provide an opportunity to gain an experience in the fire service, earn an associate's degree, build professional skills, and ultimately to pursue a career as a firefighter EMT. The program wouldn't have been possible without a lot of people coming together in that idea, so I want to recognize the Wisconsin Partnership Program for believing in the concept, investing in our community. I also want to recognize Local 311, MFD administration, and our academic partner, Dr. Spigner, for collaborating and designing this program and making something that would actually work in our department. In this 2-year paid internship that combines education, mentorship, hands-on experience, and community engagement, it's a significant commitment for our interns, their mentors, and everybody who's involved. There's a lot of people who are involved in making this program a success. So today we get to celebrate our first intern to complete that journey. Ayla Meyer has become our first official firefighter EMT to graduate the Pathway internship program. So over these past 2 years, she's balanced school, station responsibilities, training, community engagement, and the program's expectations. Importantly, this isn't just the end of her internship. It's, as a successful graduate of the program, Ayla's been placed on our Madison Fire Department eligibility list, giving her the opportunity to continue pursuing a career with Madison Fire. Ayla, you've put a lot of hard work into getting here, and we're very proud of what you accomplished. You've helped also establish the standard for interns, a hard thing to match, that will follow you, and you've shown what is possible for somebody when they're given the opportunity and puts in the work to make the most of it. So on behalf of the Madison Fire Department program, thank you to everybody who's created the program, and congratulations to Ayla for being the first person to complete it. Come on forward. Thank you. This is Ayla, and this is her mother, Erin.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I have the privilege of being able to talk about the code enforcement officers. I'm the fire marshal, Bill Sullivan. So I have a group of people that I've been able to supervise and make Madison a much safer community. So let's talk about those folks. The staff within the Fire Prevention Division go by a bunch of different names: Fire Prevention Officer, Code Enforcement Officer, or simply Fire Inspector, with maybe a few other choice adjectives inserted from time to time. Regardless of their title, these are dedicated professionals. They work diligently every single day to ensure that the city of Madison remains a safe place to live, work, and play. Being a fire code officer requires a truly unique combination of skills. They need a deep technical knowledge on a vast range of hazards. They must know how to apply different local and national codes based on when a building was built. They also must learn emerging technologies, note their associated hazards, and bridge the gap when codes haven't caught up to the new technologies. But it isn't just about enforcement. They need to be humble when challenged and quick to acknowledge mistakes. They must be firm but fair while working towards compliance. Crucially, they have to deliver corrective action in a way that helps our community members truly understand and accept the why. These skills are not learned overnight. They were developed over the years of training, experience, and mentorship. These officers started with the basics: checking exits, extinguishers, and extension cords. But more importantly, they started by building relationships. Today, they inspect complex occupancies, determine safe occupant loads, recognize unsafe storage arrangements, and know the ins and outs of fire alarm and fire sprinkler systems. More importantly, they have earned the trust of our business owners, contractors, our firefighters, and the public. These inspectors have consistently proven they possess the skills and traits to get the job done. In every inspection, every difficult conversation, and every daily task, they have shown honesty, integrity, caring, compassion, and respect while serving our customers. We look forward for their continued growth, filling lead roles within the Fire Prevention Division and contributing to safety for all of the city of Madison. It is my honor to recognize Sean Bonjour. Sean is going to be accompanied on stage by his wife, Anna. It is also my honor to recognize Courtney Petway. And also being honored today, we'd like to recognize Lori Anderson, who could not be with us tonight. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Division Chief David Crossan. Currently hold the position for hiring and promotions. Tonight, I will be addressing the CARES promotion. That will be usually given out by Division Chief Lisa Becker, who is currently on a call out of the city at this moment. So it's my extreme privilege to be able to hand out this award here to this next individual. So the CARES team provides a non-law enforcement crisis response to nonviolent behavioral health calls. The CARES team consists of a Madison Fire Department community paramedic and a Journey crisis worker. We currently operate 3 teams that respond anywhere in the city of Madison and Sun Prairie. I am proud to say that in September, CARES will be in service for 5 years. CARES is one of those teams that I kind of hold kind of similarly to a paramedic, where when you're at a scene in the field, you're looking, I don't want to say forward, but you're looking for that person to be able to come and help you out in that particular circumstance. Those community paramedics and crisis workers hold that special, that gift to be able to work through those complex situations. So at this moment, I would like to say congratulations to Paramedic 2, Community Paramedic 2, Amy Yelk Meinholz, who will be joined on stage by her husband, Rock Meinholz, as well. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. Unable to be here this evening, would also like to celebrate Deborah Dahl on her achievement as well.
Good evening. I am Dan Williams, and I am Division Chief of EMS Training and Logistics. I'm going to put these on, not because I need them, because it's in style, I've been told. I'm going to be speaking about our paramedics on the department, and whether you're a brand new medic to the role or you joined MFD already certified, we are absolutely thrilled for the opportunities that lie ahead for you. Becoming a paramedic was no small feat, and we recognize the incredible amount of work it took to get here. So let's take a minute and just reflect upon what that journey looked like. 560 hours of lecture, 192 hours of lab time, 144 hours of clinicals, 384 hours of ride-along field time, and 40 hours of onboarding. That totals 1,320 structured hours, and that's not even counting the 500 plus hours spent studying and preparing for tests each night. Ladies and gentlemen, these paramedics have committed over 1,800 hours of their lives to reach this point, and that's an incredible achievement. And to the families and the friends here tonight, this journey wasn't easy for you either. These 1,800 hours meant time your loved one wasn't always available, time they missed helping at home, time they were physically present but mentally buried in study materials, time they couldn't be there for you. So tonight, we all celebrate all of you. To the paramedics and to the families and friends who stood by them, we honor your dedication, sacrifice, and now let's give everyone a well-deserved round of applause. Paramedics, in your new role, you're stepping into a position with a profound impact on this community, an impact unlike any other position in the city. Let's break it down. take an average 10 patient contacts per shift. Now, we all know that some ambulances are much busier than that. Let's just go with 10. Multiply that by an average of 90 shifts per year. That gives us 900 people and families each of you will help annually with your knowledge, your skill, your caring, and your compassion. Spend 10 years on the ambulance in this role, and that's 9,000 lives touched. That's roughly the population of McFarland, Cottage Grove, or Monona. Let that sink in for a minute. But it's not just the patients. You're also joining a new professional community. You'll collaborate with hospital staff, doctors, PAs, nurses, who will not only support your continued growth, but also become colleagues and friends along the way. Welcome to what I believe is the best job in the MFD, the role of paramedic. And I don't say that just because I'm an EMS chief. I say it because I believe it with my whole heart. This role will give you deep satisfaction, a strong sense of purpose, and moments of pride you will carry with you forever. It will also be challenging for you. There will be hard days. There will be tired days. But through it all, you will save lives, comfort families, and make a difference in ways few others ever can. I'm so excited for each of you to embark on this next chapter in your career. Congratulations, paramedics. I would first like to recognize Philip Burton. He's being joined on stage by his wife, Cassandra, and children Peyton and Walker. He's being pinned by his wife. Next, I'd like to recognize Joshua Inhofe. He'll be joined on stage by his wife, Lauren, and children Carson and Paisley, being pinned by his children Carson and Paisley. There's a healthy list of paramedics that were not able to join us tonight, and I'd like to recognize them. Christopher Battaglia, Casey Dolphin, Rachel Kaut, Tremel Lines, Emmanuel Milkey, Adam Newville, Melanie Peterson, Madeline Schulist, Tyler Sheffield, Joshua Stedman, Kyle Von Ruden, and Samuel Wood. We appreciate the time and effort that they all put into achieving this great accomplishment as well. I would also like to recognize two firefighter paramedics that have become what we call paramedic twos, and they are responsible for providing EMS training within the department and field training new paramedics. Unfortunately, they were not able to join us this evening, but I'd also like to recognize Ryan Kincaid and Bryce Powell.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here to introduce the rank of apparatus engineer, a position that carries tremendous responsibility, plays a critical role on every fire company. It requires technical skills, sound judgment, leadership, the ability to perform under pressure when there is very little room for error. Our apparatus engineers are responsible for safely navigating fire apparatus through traffic and getting their crews where they need to be when seconds matter. Once they arrive, the responsibility only increases. The apparatus engineer must position the apparatus correctly, operate the pump or the aerial device with precision. But becoming an apparatus engineer is about much more than operating equipment. The apparatus engineer is second in command of the company, an important leadership position within this organization. As you know, with second in command, when the first in command is out on vacation or training, you're it. You're number one. At times like this, could mean assuming command at a working fire, managing initial responses at an active shooter incident, directing operations at serious vehicle crashes, excuse me, or making life and death decisions before additional resources arrive. They must remain calm, think critically, and make sound decisions while others are depending on their leadership. This high-pressure position, where split-second decisions count, requires confidence, leadership, and sound judgment, and a commitment to being ready every time the tones go off. To those being promoted today, you have earned the opportunity to take on this responsibility. This promotion represents a significant step in your career and demonstrates the confidence this department has in your ability, judgment, and leadership. Congratulations to each of you on your promotion to apparatus engineer today. And we will start out with Jonathan Clinkscale. Jonathan is joined on stage by his wife, Adriana, and children's Nadia and Mateo. So, next up is David Hartman. David is joined on stage by his wife Amy and son Dylan. He will be pinned by his wife Amy. John Rowland. John is joined on stage by his wife Pamela and daughter One. He's being pinned by his wife Pamela. Graham Yan. Graham is joined on stage by his wife Kelly and daughter Georgia. He'll be pinned by his wife Kelly. Also being honored tonight, but unable to join us, is Jameson Dewar and Robert Wan. I'm not done yet. The next promotion rank is Apparatus Engineer 2. This position builds on the skills and responsibilities of an apparatus engineer, but adds another important level of leadership, coordination, and responsibility within the department. In the station, this position is commonly known as the Chief's Aide. The Chief's Aide serves as the OIC's assistant, which is the officer in charge of the day, and plays a critical role in helping manage the daily operations of the department. There are a tremendous number of moving parts on any given day at the MFD: staffing changes, training assignments, apparatus going in and out of service, station coverage, personnel movement, and the operational needs are all happening at the same time, not to mention we're running calls. So the Chief Aide helps keeps all this organized and moving in the right direction. The responsibility becomes even greater during a major incident. The Chief Aide responds with the command vehicle and becomes a key part of the incident command team. They assist and advise the chief, track personnel, resources, help maintain accountability, support communications, and play an important role in the overall safety of our firefighters operating on scene. It is in this position, it requires a strong organizational skills, sound judgment, attention to detail, and the ability to think several steps ahead. Those being promoted to Apparatus Engineer 2 have demonstrated the experience, knowledge, and leadership needed to take on this responsibility. Congratulations to each of you on receiving this next step in your careers. Ryan Meitzen? Hey. Oh, congratulations. Hello. Joined on stage, Ryan is joined on stage by his wife, Christina, and daughters, Evelyn and Addison, and he will be pinned by his daughters. We also have another Apparatus Engineer 2 promotion. He was unable to attend. His name is Andrew Marson.
Now we're down to the lieutenants. So one thing, when you become a lieutenant, you're deciding to take a leadership role within our fire department. So there's a process to become a lieutenant, and here's where we really got to thank the families. When you become a promoted position, the families actually make a huge sacrifice so they can actually prepare themselves just to do that position. So the process for lieutenant, they became fire officer once with the state of Wisconsin. They're already certified with the state of Wisconsin. Then they end up doing a written test, then they do an evaluation process. And that evaluation process, where I'm thinking some of the family members here, you probably stood in front of them when you actually had them answering some questions, and you helped make them better, and you helped make them better leaders, which is exactly what we always need. You guys are a huge part of our family, so the family members, thank you. So becoming a lieutenant, spent quite a few years doing that. That is the highest ranking position within the stations at the station level. So with that, they are also the people that every member in those stations, they look to that lieutenant for direction, support, and leadership. They are that bridge of the members between the members, the field, and administration. So that lieutenant plays a significant role of leadership for all of our members. So one thing the lieutenant does is they control the culture within the stations. So they control everything that actually, the crew watches everything that that person does, what the lieutenant does. They do also, what do they not say? So what is tolerated, what is recognized, what is rewarded? So they set the standard every single day inside that station. They allow the atmosphere that actually happens in that station. That's why it's really important for our lieutenants to take that leadership role, to actually harbor a good atmosphere for all of our members to actually be successful in. So no one is better in a better position for our members is those lieutenants. They must know every single one of those people. Their job is to develop every single one of those members on that crew to help them reach their dreams and their goals. Their position is to help every single one of those members. It's also to challenge them and to support them and also to be present for them. When they leave you at home and they end up showing up at the fire station, they're going to be part of that family, but they're also considering your family there at home too. So that's where the family members too, the lieutenants, are making sure that you are all welcomed at those stations because this firehouse is for all of us. The lieutenants will be leading by example. So when they lead by the example, it's basically they are going to be there with you and with all the members too. And the other thing too, the lieutenant, their responsibility extends beyond the station. So when we go on those calls, those medical calls, those fire calls, they are the people who are there representing that crew. They may not be the person talking to the patient, they may not be the person putting the fire out, but they're actually providing that guidance. They're also that face-fronting person who's responsible for that crew. They're also making sure that every person on that crew is responsible to come home safe every single day. The legacy a lieutenant's going to leave, and I think about even being a lieutenant, the part you get cared about the most part is actually all the members' success. The legacy I ever left, it's not about going on the calls, it's anything like that, but it's that every single member that a lieutenant is going to be taken care of on their crew, that person reached their dreams, their goals, and that you're the lieutenant that they actually want to basically become a leadership role with. So closing for the lieutenants, take care of your people, set the standard, protect the culture, lead by example, and congratulations. We'll walk you through. All right. The first one, Dan Barnard, joined on stage by his wife, Linda, and children Isabella and Gabrielle, being pinned by his wife, Linda. Ethan Dade, joined on stage by his wife Carrie and daughters Lennon and Joella, being pinned by his daughters Lennon and Joella. Eric Fredrickson, joined on stage by his wife Christy, who will also be pinning him with his badge. Jeffrey Kundert, joined on stage by his wife Amy and children Brianna and Ashton, being pinned by his wife Amy. Mark Miller, joined on stage by his wife Tina and son Mitchell, being pinned by his wife Tina and son Mitchell. Matthew Powers, joined on stage by his wife Amy and daughter Hazel, being pinned by his wife Amy and daughter Hazel. Ryan Staudinger, joined on stage by his and being pinned by his wife Amanda, who will also be pinning his badge.
Good evening. I'm Assistant Chief Jeff Larson, and I'll be introducing our promotional folks for position of Division Chief. This is more than a new title or another step on the organizational chart. It represents a significant increase in responsibility, accountability, and leadership. The members being promoted have demonstrated throughout their careers that they possess the knowledge, experience, judgment, and character necessary to lead others. Most importantly, they have earned the trust of their colleagues. As division chiefs, they'll be expected to lead during some of the most challenging times of our department and our community may face. They will make decisions that affect our personnel, operations, and ultimately the safety of the people we serve. The position requires confidence, but also humility, decisiveness, the ability to listen, and above all, a commitment to the mission of the City of Madison Fire Department. They've earned this opportunity through years of hard work and dedication. And just remember that leadership is not measured simply by the decisions you make, but by the people you develop, the example you set, and the confidence you inspire in those around you. Congratulations to our new division chiefs. We're proud of what you have accomplished, grateful for what you have given this department, and confident in the leadership you'll provide in years ahead. Thank you, and congratulations. David Bridges. He'll be joined on stage and being pinned by his wife, Cindy. Nate Frankie. He'll be joined on stage by his wife Abby, his sons Owen, Eli, and Tate, and be pinned by his wife Abby. And Tim Gorzalski. Joined on stage and being pinned by his mother, Vicky.
It's getting complicated here at the end for us. So as we wrap things up here, it's my pleasure to be able to announce our last individual recognition of the evening. This one will be for the position of the Assistant Chief of Personnel and Administration. As many of you know in this room, this role represents one of the busiest and one of the most impactful positions on this department. This role literally has an imprint on every other position throughout the organization. The myriad, the scope of the various tasks, the topics, the responsibilities, it's truly longer than I could possibly list, and it encompasses every aspect involved with our membership, anywhere from pre-academy conversations up to the last minutes of retirement. Everything literally in between. To be truly successful in this role, it has to be filled by someone who is detailed, somebody that's dedicated, compassionate, patient, understanding, empathetic, creative, and flexible. But most importantly, this position has to be filled by someone who simply and genuinely cares about each member of this organization and about the success of everybody within. So it is my pleasure to recognize our Assistant Chief of Administration and Personnel, Assistant Chief Ron Bloomer. Congratulations. As they're pinning, I would like to recognize his daughters, Sarah and Veronica, joining him on stage. As we conclude, thank you again to each of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here together. It's been an awesome night, and it got even better as we go through to see the families up on stage enjoying this moment together. As we wrap up, we would invite all the participants to please come back to the stage so Cynthia can grab a few photos towards the end. Once we're done, we welcome you to each come up to the stage in whatever capacity you would like. Feel free to take as many photos as you might like and mingle as long as you want. Again, congratulations to everybody being recognized tonight, and more than anything, thank you for what you do on behalf of this organization and this city. Have a great night.